York Mets?
Chicago Cubs.
Okay. I had to get that out of the way.
Yeah, that's, I mean, there's no doubt about it. But now, New York Mets or Yankees? Yankees.
Oh, really?
Really. I'm a Chicago Cubs, New York Yankees fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because, you know, I needed a team that could win. Because if you're a Cubs fan, you're just a perpetual loser.
Right.
So when I was 7 years old, I became a Yankees fan.
Moving back up the shot a little bit, it's just so close.
Well, here, I can go back.
No, I can go back here. Watch this.
Yeah, like this.
These guys are tough.
Oh, yes, they do. I don't mess with
How's
them.
that look?
Whatever they do, I say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the reason I'd like to chat with you is Jamestown is very proud of Senator Charles Goodell.
Right.
And in 1968, I believe,
Right.
part of Wellesley, you had a chance to interface with him. How did that happen, and what did you think?
Well, in 1968, I was selected to be part of the Washington internship program run by my college, Wellesley College, outside of Boston. And I was assigned to the House Republican Conference, at that time headed by Gerald Ford, but one of the members in the leadership was Charles Goodell. Mm-hmm. And I was assigned to him. So I did research for him, I ran errands for him, all the typical kinds of intern jobs that you do during the summertime. And as I was finishing up my internship, he, he asked me if I wanted to go to the Republican convention in Miami, because he was going to go down there and work for Nelson Rockefeller. And you know, I called my parents, and they obviously said they'd have a place for me. And I drove down with a bunch of other young people who worked on Congressman Goodell's staff or were interns for him, and had the most amazing experience being there and being part of that. Obviously, Nelson Rockefeller didn't get the nomination, as we all know. But I was always impressed by Congressman Goodell's intelligence, his good humor. He was just a really wonderful man to be around, and he was so kind to young people. He was always interested in what we had to say, and he would set up meetings for us with members of the cabinet. I remember one time, then Secretary of Defense Melvin Laird came over because Congressman Goodell asked him to. So I have great memories, and obviously it made a big impression on me since here I am back in Washington again.
He was going through sort of a, I don't want to say a political metamorphosis, but because of the Vietnam War, because he had taken on the position made vacant by the assassination of Senator Kennedy.
Right.
Did you see part of that? Were you aware of that?
Well, I was going through my own on a much lesser level, obviously as a young person. You know, I had come to Wellesley as a staunch Republican and began to question my beliefs and attitudes. And in fact, one of the reasons that the professor in charge of the program assigned me to work for the House Republican Conference was because he said, before you make a decision that you're no longer Republican, you should actually work with the people who are down there. And what I liked about Congressman Goodell is that he was very open to all of these issues. He didn't have a closed mind, and he was searching, and he was very concerned about the direction of the country. And he would talk to us about that. I mean, when Melvin Laird came over to speak to us, several of us asked very hard questions about the policy in Vietnam. And as I recall, Congressman Goodell complimented us. He said, "I'm so glad that you care enough and that you're asking these tough questions. They have to be asked." And he did not go along with the sort of Nixon philosophy and political approach. That's one of the reasons why he worked so hard for Nelson Rockefeller. And even though there wasn't much of a chance, he just felt strongly that he had to stand up for what he considered to be, the Rockefeller Republican point of view. And I think he was going through changes, but he was someone who came across as very open, but very grounded at the same time.
Were you involved?
One last question.
One last question. Were you involved at all in any of the marches that he was involved in? I know he was had some of those anti-war marches.
I don't know if I was involved in ones he was involved in. I know that I was in one in, I think, 1970. So I don't know whether he was there or not.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator.
That's right. Now he's produced an NFL commissioner. Boy.
Hey, Jen, here's the thing for the senator.
Charlie Goodell was a catcher.
Do you want me to sign this?
No, actually, I was just, you'd already signed it to me.
Oh, actually. I've already done my job there.
You've done your job. I was for picture purposes only.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank